We have a breaking update to a school threat we told you about earlier this morning. We just heard from the Sumner County school system in the past half an hour. They told us the threat was a misunderstanding and there's nothing to it. The sheriff's department was investigating after an officer was told about a threatening social media post. But again, we're told there is no credible threat to the school. They will have stepped up police presence just to be safe. More breaking news now. Governor Pat McCrory has declared a state of emergency in North Carolina as protest over a deadly police shooting of a black man gets more violent. After hours of peaceful protesting, things took a turn. A man is now in critical condition after being shot by another civilian. City officials mistakenly first reported that man had died. He is in critical condition, and some protesters threw bottles, rocks, and fireworks. Police responded with flash grenades and tear gas. We're going to show you more of this video of Charlotte in our next half an hour. Breaking news here in Nashville. A gunman runs off after a failed robbery, but he got caught on camera. And police need your help tracking him down. News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy live at the scene for us on Thompson Lane. And this guy got into some trouble once he got inside, right?
Yeah, he did, Amy. There were several customers inside the store last night, just as there are this morning, when this armed robber walked up to the glass with this gun. A quick-thinking clerk, though, shut this bulletproof glass, but he wasn't done yet. He walked a few feet away to where they have this bulletproof door, and there was a struggle between the clerk inside and that man on the outside, and we have it caught on video that we want to show you. This, again, happened just after 11 o'clock last night when the man walked into the store. You see the clerk in a desperate struggle to try and lock the door, but the would-be robber walks up at the time, and there is that struggle between the two of them, and it is caught on camera. Here are some better pictures we have of that suspect. He's described as a black male wearing all dark clothing and a black bandana covering a bit of his face. And it's not the best pictures, but police are hopeful maybe you might recognize this man. If so, 615-74-CRIME is the number to call. Now, this store has been around here on Thompson Lane since 2010. The clerk tells me they've never had any problems until this week. In fact, 2 nights ago, 4 people caught on camera throwing a rock through this window, climbing through, and then stealing some cigarettes. They left some blood behind, and police were swabbing for DNA. So now they have to solve this burglary and now this attempted robbery last night. Thankfully, though, no one was hurt. Reporting live this morning in South Nashville, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
Yep, good job by those clerks, Dan. Thank you. And happening now, Murfreesboro police are looking for a runaway teen. Investigators say Brittany Barker was in DCS custody, and she was about to be released to her mother when she jumped out of the vehicle and then ran away. Now, this happened back on September 3rd. Get a good look at Brittany Barker. The 16-year-old is about 5'2" with multiple tattoos. If you know where she is, call police 615-893-1311. Also new this morning, one person was stabbed during a fight between neighbors. It happened last night on 11th Avenue North in Edge Hill just before 9. The victim was rushed to the hospital and is expected to be okay. No word yet if any arrests have been made. And 2 men are behind bars for a murder 9 months after the crime. Glenn Robbery Jr. and Kevin Allen are accused of killing Adrian Ohakwe back in January. Ohakwe's body was found dumped along Old Smith Springs Road in Nashville. 19-year-old Mackenzie Coling is also charged. Metro Police say she tampered with evidence after the murder. Ohakwe's body turned up a day after he and Roby were suspected of a drug-related shooting and robbery in Smyrna. Police believe the men were having a disagreement when Ohakwe was killed. And we're hearing from a family member of the fugitive shot and killed by Metro Police Tuesday. Sandy Duke was on the run after a home invasion in Robertson County when he pulled a pistol during a chase in Nashville and was shot by an officer. His younger brother, Homer, says Duke was a funny man but had a troubled mind. The 43-year-old spent the majority of his life in prison, but now Duke's brother is apologizing to victims.
We want to say we're sorry, and we feel terrible for the police officer that had to make the terrible decision to fire his gun.
The officer who took down Sandy Duke remains on administrative assignment while Metro Police investigate. It's a rape investigation linked to a local Goodwill store. The Wilson Post is reporting 30-year-old Raina Slaufenhaupt is charged with statutory rape for instigating sex with a 17-year-old co-worker. At least 2 of those sex acts allegedly happened at the Gallatin Goodwill on Nashville Pike. And new this morning, scammers are targeting high school students who are trying to pay for college. Officials say there are a number of students and parents who've been getting calls from TN Promise to say they will provide assistance with their application, but only after credit card information is provided. However, a credit card is never needed for the real applications or assistance. TN Promise gives 2 years of free community or technical college to eligible students. So if you get a call demanding payment, hang up and contact your school. All right, some good news. If you need to fill up before work this morning, crews have finally fixed that burst pipeline that triggered gas shortages across the southeast, including here in the mid-state. Let's see what's happening now. News Channel 5 Sophie Nielsen-Colding at the station on Rosa Parks Boulevard. So what's the situation there right now, Sophie?
Well, I mean, the company that runs the Colonial Pipeline says it restarted the Alabama line last night, but it'll take a couple of days for gas supplies in this area to get back to normal. In the meantime, gas stations like this one, which has been pretty busy this morning, have been getting their gas from other sources. We actually were here as a gas fuel truck made a delivery here this morning. We got some video if you want to take a look at that. I was talking to the driver, and he says he usually goes to a BP terminal in West Nashville, but he's been going all the way to Memphis to get his gas to fuel up some of the local stations here in our area. Now, this all started on September 9th when the Colonial Pipeline, which feeds our area, got shut down because there was a leak. Then the governor extended the hours that truckers could work in order to make their fuel deliveries so there wouldn't be a disruption in supplies. But people heard there might be some kind of a gas shortage, and that made them all line up at gas stations, causing some gas stations to run dry. And this gas station, actually, there were signs that said out, out, out on all of the pumps before that gas delivery was made this morning. Now, officials, before this all started, officials were saying just fill up your tank like you normally do, and they wanted to they hope that would help curb some of the panic that we saw. But even now, as we may be returning back to normal in the next couple of days, officials still want people to not panic, not fill up 10 extra gas canisters. Just fill up your tank like you normally do. And you can do that here this morning if you need to. Reporting live in Nashville, Sophie Nielsen-Colding, News Channel 5.